Uganda. So the last part that was chopped off of Uganda,
yes,
to Kenya is K. But as you see, the J's, the I, the E, and so on, this part actually were taken off to Congo, and then this part was brought back to have the, this part here, the C, was brought back to have the full control of the Nile. They chopped and made this part, this territory, now the final boundary of Uganda. So this is Kivuka, god of war. The Baganda or the Buganda people had different gods: god of water, god of war, god of food. Everything had a god. Kivuka is believed to have had supernatural powers that could force him supernaturally into the clouds and fight against the enemies. As you can see, the arrows pointing down, that demonstration you see. But one story says that this person actually had a seer, Omulaguzi, what they call Omulaguzi, and this person told him not to fall in love while in the battle. And that kind of oral tradition says that this person contrarily fell in love with a Mnyolo hostage, and that is the people he was fighting against. And so by this time, Buganda was fighting against Bunyoro, and those kind of land kind of, let me say, grabbing or fighting against the other, it also has a history between kingdoms and chiefdoms. So you could fight against them, and so they could not know until this person leaked the information, and that's why you're seeing the arrows pointing out. So it is believed that this person was wounded, he could not fight for anymore, and was trapped in that tree you're seeing. And so he was hiding there, and then somebody alerted people, his enemies, and so they captured him. We had barter trade whereby we used to exchange products for products and services for services.
Yes.
So after the coming of the cow shells, cutters of the Arabs, people started using them as money, and that's where the Ensimbi Enganda name comes from. This was also very important. It is one of the guns that was actually given to some of the collaborators of the British to extend the British colonial kind of rule in some parts of Africa or East Africa. And then they exchanged with what they brought, with salt, ivory, and slaves. Some people say, some people do not think we had slave trade in Uganda, but we did. We did at some point, and you know what happens is that some of these traders in slaves, they connived with local leaders of that time, and then they sold people. Now this time, these two kings you're seeing, this is King Daniel Basamula Mwanga II, who is actually called Sekabaka. That Sekabaka means the king who is deceased. So if you call a living king Sekabaka, that is a crime. So Omukamachwa, John Kabalega, all of these were resistant to the British colonial rule, whereby actually they forced the British to capture them and take them to Seychelles Island in one of the seas around. So this one died on the way. He was released to come back to his kingdom, but he died on the way, and that part is called Impumude in Jinja, around Bugembe. So, and the body was taken to his palace and buried, and this one actually died in exile, and then his body was brought and buried in Kasubi tombs in 1910. You see, the people of Uganda is actually endowed with over more than 50 cultural groups. Actually, the Constitution of Uganda of 1995 is recognizing 56 cultural groups, but they are more than that from the recent research done. We used to study the types of fishing methods. We have hooks method, we have the spear method. This person will think of the spear he's seeing at home, not knowing there is a specific fishing spear. And that spear they are using in home is for protection. A father can go with it, maybe to pick his fish, because he's worried on the way somebody might steal it. And then this one here shows the salt working. Salt is among the products that was exchanged for things like slaves, things like ivory. You know, we have crater lakes, and
Yes.
those crater lakes, they have water.
Yes.
And so how do you get the crystals out of water? They would have this, a sterilizing process or a place like this. They have a pot, they put that water, that salt,
Yes.
so they evaporate the water out of it. And so they get the crystals, and those crystals are ready to be packed in this. And then this is the iron smelting. And what is the process like? So we have raw materials like, for example, iron ore, which is rich in iron. So it is put in here, mixed with the salt, mixed with charcoal and so on. So when it is burnt, okay, it gets, like, it liquefies, okay, and then the other raw materials, which is actually called raw remains. Then after getting the raw material in this form, for example, they go ahead to do what we call forging, and that is this, closely you can call smithing. This one. Yes. Something to share with about this Nyirimu Akoye is that in any family there is something actually, it's personal. That thing is for mommy, that thing is for daddy.
For daddy, indeed.
You know, and if it is for dad, it means for dad, and the child will grow knowing that things of elders are respected.
That's true.
So the story is that not even a mother would sit on this chair. Yeah, they're showing us the product of the back cloth, and it's very important in Buganda. Actually, it is one of the recognized back cloth, or recognized kind of cultural heritage material by UNESCO. It's by the Band speaking group, and for the case of Uganda, it was discovered by a clan called Ngonge, the Ota clan. Actually, we are the founders of this. The back cloth making, we can stem it from here. This is the tree whereby they get the bark from, and then they transform it into a dress we have seen. Now you can look at some of the demarcations. The harvester actually marks where he wants the back cloth to start and end, and later on they will cover it to make sure it redevelop another bag, so that it can be harvested to make another cloth. It can be harvested like more than 5 times actually if it is cared for. So normally when they harvest it, they get the banana leaves and they cover it, okay, so that they protect it from the sun, from the heat, direct heat, and then slowly it develops another layer. So after getting this from this, they scrape up the upper skin, this upper skin of the back cloth, and then it remains this, like this. So if it is beaten using this mallet, like in this form, you're spoiling, it will get torn, you know. But if it is beaten like in this form, using these mallets, it will transform into this, and finally you have a finished product ready for making a cloth, using for as a cover, bed cover, or sheets, bed sheets, and then fashion and design can come in. You can see such kind of designs which were put in by stamps or by sewing, like this one you're seeing there. All these are stamps, and mind you that all these stamps, sometimes they would make them in a communicative way. Either maybe they would put kind of flowers. What is it communicating? They could maybe put a star. What is it communicating? They could maybe put a moon, like that kind of stuff. This is the woodworking. So this is one of the stools which is made in Acholi, and they also make them in Kalamoja. This is woodworking, also making the different kind of milk pots. So you'll find that there are milk gourds and milk pots. Milk pots are made from wood carving, and milk gourds are actually harvested as plants, like in the family of pumpkin. So these are different kind of woods which are used to make these kind of milk pots, and these are some of the materials they use. And so all this is kind of artistic kind of knowledge of people, the skill they have. And have you ever actually asked how do they develop the hall? In western Uganda, and then this one is the Nalohamite from Kalamoja. So both of them are cattle keepers, but one is a kind of nomadic pastoralist. They keep on moving, okay, because of the environment they live in. But another one is kind of more similar to permanent settler. But these ones have long horned and these ones short horned. But in terms of food, both of them used to get blood. Even today, actually, they get blood and mix it with milk, and then they get that beautiful kind of meal for themselves. And you can see the gourds actually are different from the pots. These gourds, they have even handles, because for them they have to keep moving and move with their milk or water. So this one is it's hunting. We are looking at the different kind of aspects of hunting, from the animals being hunted to the traps being used, and also the communication and religion, belief. Because these people, what happens is that before they used to go for the hunting, they used to consult their gods. Yeah, their gods. These are masks, and it's these masks actually sometimes when people had like kind of wars, like attacks or something like that, to cover themselves not to be identified, they used masks. They were used in the shaping of children. Like for example, many of them were used while performing, and they would put that mask. And so the mother kept telling this child, if you don't stop that stubbornness at home, this guy will come and eat you. Yes. Children. And then the dancing headdresses, these ones mainly are looked at in different kind of cultural groups. And apart from fashion and design, these ones were used in form of communication and entertainment. You can see today we had them. This is still recreation. You can see the smoke in the different kind of pipes, given different names, and those are the different kind of people we have in Uganda: the Hutu, the Chori, the Kiga, the Kalmajong, and so on and so forth.